Look, I'm getting a bite over here. What? Jeremiah, you on me, bud?
Oh, I'm on you,
Watch
bud.
this. Oh, he got me one. Stuff's happening. Stuff's happening. Ah! Oh, he's already grown and it's like freaking 7:20. Now we wonder why the season's shut down early.
Get out of here.
We finally have the final version, and someone here is going to win the very first one in existence. Next person is going to win an 𝗛𝗘𝗟𝗣 rod and reel combo pair.
Hey, good morning, addicts. We're out here on a very special episode today. It's wintertime in the Columbia River Gorge. We're doing ourselves a little sturgeon fishing. Fortunately, though, today is the last day, and it is only the second day of the year. We're kind of in a position where we had really good fishing on New Year's Day, which was the opener. We caught something like 85% of the quota for the pool, and they're giving us one more day to kind of go out and get them. So I got Alex, the cameraman, along to share with you a little bit of this, guys. But kind of a sad state of affairs. Everyone's kind of a little glummy right now because the reality is the season that generally would go halfway through the month, maybe all the way to the end of January, is only going 2 days this year. Now there's a couple things going for us. We had good weather, we had good wind, the water temps are up, the fish are really bitey, they're really aggressive, and a lot of people came out and were really successful. But the underlying problem to this fishery that I've been guiding here for 12 to 15 years is that all the sportsmen are showing up to do what sportsmen do. We had a great opener, we had great weather, and there was hundreds, if not thousands of boats all vying for their one chance to catch a keeper sturgeon. We've lost sturgeon fisheries down on the lower coast. We've lost steelhead fisheries up in the North Washington coast. We've lost A-run steelhead fisheries. We've lost winter blackmouth. And so when we have openers like this, 1 million people show up, and I don't blame them. There's nothing else to do. And unfortunately, we're going to see, I'm sure tonight and tomorrow and the subsequent week, we're going to see people complaining about, oh, I remember when it was 10 years ago and there was nobody up here. Oh, there's too many guides. Oh, there people keep it too small a fish. Oh, whatever it might be. But that's not the problem. The problem is opportunity. And to be honest with you, I don't know what the answer is. I can tell you right now, I know 24 guides that would never be participating in this fishery if some of these steelhead fisheries up on the 𝗪𝗎𝗄 and the A-run 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏 said river names still existed. The fact of the matter is they're closed or they're taken away from us. So we've got a lot of problems. I wish I knew what the answer is, but all I know is a bunch of people were really happy. They were stoked. There was lots of pictures on the internet on the first day. I don't think I've ever seen or heard of that many sturgeon killed in my lifetime. It was phenomenal. People were stoked about it and happy about it. But I think as we start to set into this, like, okay, everyone was kind of happy and drunk on the freaking opener because everyone did so good, that reality is going to set in, and it's like, wow, we got 2 days of fishing and that's never happened before. So like I said, I don't know what the answer is, but we want to bring you guys along today, show you guys that this fishery is a great fishery. It's a viable fishery, that they've done a really good job of managing the population. The quotas stay the same. It's also a phenomenal catch and release fishery, and I know people are here to kill them and want to catch them, but you'll see hopefully today that these fish are also a great opportunity to go out and catch and release, and sometimes you don't necessarily have to take a fish home. So the reality is we still have lots to do in the winter time, and we're going to do it. It's just man, it is just a bummer. But like I said, hopefully the fish are going to bite for you guys, and we'll see what happens. But that's why we're sitting here in the dark, 2 hours before light, waiting to go. Well guys, a couple things then. So we got just a few minutes before it gets light. I got these baits kind of tied on here. It's a combination of squid and sand shrimp. Nice sharp barbless hooks today. Big thing, we're using braided line, heavy braided line. So I'm gonna put these in the rod holder. I'm gonna set them up for you guys. But the thing is when you start getting a bite, and you'll know when you get a bite, we'll just kind of call rods, we'll rotate. Hopefully it gets crazy. You've got to be careful when you take it out of the rod holder, because everything you do on this rod tip, if you lift it 2-3 feet, you're pulling that bait 2 or 3 feet. You're pulling it right away from them. They feel it, they'll drop it and go away from it, okay? So when you start to see the tap on the rod, I'll show you guys a little bit when it gets light, you need to remove the rod out of the holder. And a lot of people want to lift up to kind of like, oh, is he there? Is he there? But that's the opposite of what you want to do. You want to pick that rod out of the holder and almost give him a foot or two, just a little bit, and then feel for him again. And usually by that time, if he's got it, you need to set the hook. But the hook set is not just a snap. You know, you want to sweep the rod. It's not about it's not really about speed and power. They do have a tough mouth. But when you set the hook, it should not just be like, let's try to do it here in the light. It should not just be like from here to like right here. Like, use your rods, come back and like, woo, like take up line. That's the key. That's the key, because those fish might grab that bait and move it around a little bit. We use short leaders and stuff so they don't swallow it. We don't want to give them too much time, because one of two things, they'll either swallow the bait, and if it's a fish we want to release, we don't want to hurt it, or when we they'll feel the hook eventually and then just get rid of it. And they're pretty tricky, so you got to think, you got to just be a little bit sneakier when you're taking that rod out of the holder. And if you miss, I won't make fun of you or anything like that, so you know what I mean. Yeah. That's it. Real, you got him. Real. No, just keep real. Real. Tighten it up. There.
All right, try it. Come on, buddy.
Little guy. Shaker. Oh, man, I don't want a shaker. We want big fish here. The other thing I forgot to say, guys, the big thing is when you set the hook and you do the lift and you get them up here, don't drop the rod back down, because that lead sticks them and then falls. So when you set the hook up here, you get them up here, I got him, and reel up here, just keep it tight, because that barbless hook will fall right out of the mouth. Oh, where are you going? Oh my gosh! Now you want to fight, huh? Dude, he's going to be close. He's close, but I bet he's a 37. I bet he's just short. He might be. I don't know, man. He's a fat one, though, so he's kind of deceiving, but I'll show you how I measure in a second. Whew. Okay, first few minutes. Like, that one's a close one, but I've got to show you, there's a very specific way the state has us measure these fish, and they have to be 38 inches. And I've done us the service of that line there. His fork of his fin has to clear the line. So he's a good fish. I don't think he's going to go, but I touch his tail there, and he goes like that, and he's going to be just short. He is going to be about a half inch short. But that's pretty cool when your half inch short sturgeon is, that's not a fish to keep. Usually what I say is that you get two types of bites. You get the little tap and then nothing, tap, nothing. Or if you feel anything like he's on there for more than a second or so, like you have to get him. And you gotta go on him. They won't give you that long. That's fish right there. Reel. Don't drop the rod. Just reel, maybe he's there. You got him? Oh, you got him. That's good fish. That's good fish. There's Jeremiah. You got a real, you don't want to stop, because if you got him hooked, or if he's stuck, you see he's there, you got him. There we go. Sometimes they grab that bait and they'll push it forward, you got to catch up to him. How you doing, guys? Oh, he's already grown and it's like freaking 720. Oh, it's so big. I think it's another 37. I don't think so. I think he's another one that's just short. Like, where'd all my big fish go? Let's touch him there. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. That's a keeper. Come on. Dead one day. He's going to be a 39, 40.
Wow.
I think so. Right there. Oh, yeah, he's well over. He's a keeper. Keeper, keeper. There you go. I don't know where the counters are at, so. Further than that. Already keeper here. Oh, I see him. Nope, little guy. Little guy. Come here. Splish splash. Go easy with him. You got him nice. Just keep it tight. Stuff's happening. Stuff's happening. Ah! Big fish. That's a keeper. That's a keeper. Don't screw that one up. Oh, I'm like, what are you waiting for? You got it. Oh no! Reel. You got it. That thing is running good. If he wants to run, nothing else. Good twitch. You can tell when you set the hook that was a solid fish. It was just bonk. Like, yep. There you go. If he wants to run, just let him run. Oh, that's a good fish. That's a giant. Hold on. Okay, just give me a little line. Back up. Back up. Got him. Woo! Oh, that's a hoss.
Look at that one.
That's a hoss, boys. You don't have to measure that one, Jeremiah. You got yourself a keeper, dog. Good job, all the way.
With the backwards hand.
Backwards hand. Oh, there's a keeper right here too.
Yeah.
No, there's a fish right here on this rod. Our only rod out. We gotta get it. Somebody save us! Ah! You can kind of tell when they set the hook and they don't move and they just kind of like thunk, and then the rod just loads and just.
That's what that one did. All of a sudden he was just like.
And all of a sudden it's like, wait a second, I'm hooked. Dang it, I'm gonna run.
Looks like a keeper.
Oh, it's gonna probably be a keeper. I don't know what you're waiting for. Don't come on, you guys. Set it and stick it.
What they don't realize is that when you're reeling backwards, it's a little harder than reeling normal. But we know how Cameron likes to do stuff backwards.
I just make y'all real left-handed for my own personal enjoyment. That's all. Like watching you guys suffer. Better be a keeper. It's not. It's Whoa. Push the right button.
Record.
Look, I'm getting a bite over here. Jeremiah, you on me, bud?
Oh, I'm on you.
Watch this. Oh, he got me one. Reel into him. Oh, this is not as big as the one that Alex has.
I
only have 823 yards.
Oh, this one's taking
two
line too. This thing is going. I lied. This one might be bigger than yours. Well,
it's a
fish. It's a fish off. This is like the ultimate fish off right now. He may do it. He's gonna jump. He is gonna jump. Ready? Watch. Everybody watch. Here he comes. Here he comes. Do it! Do it! Oh, he's right there! Yeah! Tail walking sturgeon, baby! Tail walking sturgeon. Oh yeah, they don't fight up here at all in the freaking gorge when the water's cold. I think I got that drag about as corked as it ever could be, and it's like it's not even that big of a fish. Oh, that's a nice keeper.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, that's a stud. Oh, look at his tail though. He's got a salmon tail. How do we measure fork length on this one? Look at that.
Oh, that's a nice one too.
We might, yeah, let's take a look at him. Of course, I catch the one without a motor on it. Ooh, nice. Yeah, that's a keeper. Even with the little,
Yeah, what's up?
what do we call the fork length on that one? Well, he measures out for sure.
Yep.
He going home. I don't. What would be considered the fork on him? That?
Right there.
I'd say that's the fork. I mean,
That sounds like
he's
a
45-inch fish. Alex has got a nice fish. I reeled I had an advantage because mine didn't have a motor. Hey, go reel that reel. Oh, that's a good fish. That's a stud
Look
too,
at that
Alex.
nose.
That's a keeper. Heads up, coming in.
Oh! Look at that.
Yeah!
How's it feel to not be behind the camera?
my left arm is numb.
Levi's got one on over here.
Uh-oh.
Catch
Is that a
him in
keeper
these.
too? Now we wonder why the season's shut down early. That is cordwood, all like no 38 squeaker and a quarter fish, all just absolute fat, healthy tanks. Really a testament to how strong this fishery is, but man, sometimes when it's too easy, that's why we're shutting her down. Goodness, you'll never see that again, guys. That's insane. We haven't even had a chance to bonk or bleed any of them. Tag them and bag them. That's why it's 2 days hooked. It's not like that all the time. Obviously, this year was record setting. Definitely a cool day, but we are not done, believe it or not, because Jeremiah from Field to Plate, they're going up to do something special in the parking lot. I'm not gonna say what that is just yet, but I'm gonna clean his sturgeon. And if you guys remember from a Springer episode we did, he is a fantastic. He did the 4 different ways to cook a spring Chinook salmon. We did it on the boat. We're gonna do this one in the parking lot, but he's gonna cook for you guys. And he's got a really cool recipe that doesn't necessarily happen a lot with sturgeon. So let's get to cleaning and then get to cooking. All right, guys, now for the question I get asked more about this sturgeon fishery than anything else, how to clean them. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna knock off all the scoots, bumps, and fins. And when I do that, it'll make everything a lot easier to flay a little later on. So back, fins, belly, scoots as well. You'll see why in a minute. Let's get that last one there. Side scoots. Make a mess, throw scoots all over your boat. It's always fun. So now after I've taken off all the scoots and all the fins, I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to find that backbone right there. And I'm just like a salmon, I'm just going to run this knife from the tail up to the head, and I'm just feeling for that backbone as I'm dropping that knife in there, and I'm just trying to push it up against the side here so I'm not losing any meat. And I like to work from the tail to the head. For just some reason it seems to work a little cleaner. As you can see, like right there, I'm not missing like any meat at all. And I'm gonna run that knife until I cut all the way into the belly cavity, but I gotta be really careful with sturgeon because you don't want to cut like the innards and the guts. So just make an opening there, go to the other side and do the same thing there. I'm not going to take this side off until I get this cut done because it's a lot easier to do it with both fillets still attached. Work that through so you guys can see it's kind of open there. Pretty easy. Then I'm going to roll the fish on its side, take my knife up. I'm going to get in here real high. There's a lot of meat that people lose here. You want to make sure you get that knife up underneath that scoot and into the neck because there's a lot of good meat there. I'm going to kind of connect the two spots, run my knife down, peel it back. What happens there is now when you get it to this spot and you peel that down, there's a membrane in here. This is like a stomach lining or something. I don't know what it is, honestly, probably part of the swim bladder, but take your knife, just kind of run it along it. What it does is it opens this up to where this area of the meat is really thin. You can like see where it's thin. And then I'm going to run that knife down along the tail. Oops, I will say I did forget to do something here, guys. Usually I do a starting cut right here and right here, just so the fillet stops, trying not to go through the backbone like I might have just done. Work that down along that cut you just made. Then, once it's all open like this, take your hand, grab the fillet, and you can see, like, you can almost see daylight through how thin that piece of meat is right there. And just run your knife down along that, and it comes off really clean. Now, even though I said really clean, the biggest piece there is I didn't lose any meat. I'm taking advantage of all that fish that I got there. And now what I'm going to do is do the same thing to this side. Open this up, take it down. Nothing pretty about cleaning a sturgeon. I'll take the membrane off. And then once I get that membrane free, I'm going to lift that fillet up. Lift the fillet up and then run down part of the meat. And then as I'm doing this side, I'll take that knife and run it down along that backbone, and it pops off like that. And as you can see, when you do that, there is nothing left on that. Even up here in the collar, we got most of that back, and that's about the best way I can do it for doing a sturgeon. All right, quick rinse, and now it looks very familiar like a salmon. I'm just going to take my knife, I'm going to go down underneath the rib cage and just keep slicing slowly away at this rib cage here. And as you can see, once you start doing that, the fillet becomes really clean. You're not losing any meat. You know, we're only allowed to fish sturgeon so much. Get rid of some of that trim end. You know, you want to get all the stuff off there as you can. Boom. Take your knife, go about halfway, turn it, grab. I'm using my fingers to hold this fillet as something to hold on to. And I'm going to run this knife along the skin, and what I'm doing is I want to remove the skin right away because the skin has a slime on it that I don't really want all over the fillets. But when it does, when you skin it off, you're going to see most of that fat stuck on the skin, but there's still some left on the meat. And this red meat, this red fat, you are going to want to remove when it comes to cooking and cleaning. I'm sure Jeremiah's going to do that up there. But just so I can show you guys as well, my best trick for that is when you have this in chunks, like so, and you're gonna go to, making fish and chips or doing whatever with it, you're gonna take a cut down the middle, and then you can see you got just like this little tiny kind of triangle sliver right here of meat, fat. Take your knife, lay it on a flat surface. It might be a little bit hard on this fillet away that, and just run your knife like this, and you can see you're gonna do a really good job of removing most of that fat. Like I said, if I had a real flat cutting board, this is just my field cleaning stuff, you could remove that really easy, but that's a super cool trick. And then you've got these nice bite-sized pieces that you can do whatever you want. You're going to want to get all that stuff off there. So, a little more difficult than I wanted it to be, but you get the idea. Boom. Take this side. Now I've got something to grab onto. Knife underneath it. Take the skin off like so. Boom. Like Like I said, not leaving much there. You know, you can see that slime dripping off, and I even rinsed that fish. So that's kind of gross. So we're just gonna do a good job of removing the skin for now. But if you're not gonna cook it right away, this is the piece right here that I would take, give it a quick rinse, and throw it in a bag and freeze it. Trim all that stuff off before you eat it. I know, like I said, nothing pretty about cleaning a sturgeon, but that's the best way. You guys have better ways? Let me know. Oh, I just had this duck goose pepperoni, duck jerky, duck pastrami. Just like
Doesn't even taste like duck.
no, it doesn't taste like duck. It's good. That's the best duck I've ever had in my life. I'll give it to him. And I can tell you, after 20 years, you guys all might want to listen to this recipe because I can tell you this right now. And don't be offended if you ever tried to give me duck or goose in my boat, but for 20 years, guys get in my boat and they're like, oh, try this duck, try this pepperoni, try this thing, and every single time it is garbage. I'm sorry.
I just walked all the
do
way
it.
I just walked from halfway through the parking lot with a piece of that, and I said, you have to try this. And he's adamantly no. I go, you don't trust me? I've known you for a decade. Have I ever fed you something awful? And he won't eat it. Now I'll eat it. And we need to kill a crow for him to eat too.
Was this like did you shoot this duck from the wild?
Yeah. Off rice.
That's ridiculous.
So here's the deal, people. It's all about how you treat it,
I would
how you
listen.
season it, and how you love it. Anyone that says they don't like duck is because they don't cook it properly. Anybody that says they don't like elk, they don't like whatever, it's because they don't know how to cook it. So if you take the time to understand the animal itself and cook it, it's phenomenal. You can change dummies' minds with one bite.
I'm a dummy.
One bite of food.
Well, I'm not a dummy. It's just a bunch of people ruined it for me.
a bunch of dummies.
Shame on
A
you.
bunch of dummies. ruined
There
it
you
for
go.
All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of get down this and we're gonna cook up some of the sturgeon. We just got off the water. Cam did a great job at cleaning all this off. We're just gonna take a little fillet of this just for some of us guys to munch on when we're down here. I've got the same seasoning that we were seasoning up that duck bacon with. We're gonna cook on this on the sturgeon. We're gonna throw it on the Traeger and just kind of get a nice little char. Sturgeon meat is gonna be, it's a white meat. It's gonna resemble halibut and all the other kind of white fish that you're gonna get. We're gonna kind of remove some of this fat so that we're not getting kind of that funky bottom flavor that you find with some of these fish. Clean it up nice and easy. Flip it over to the same thing on this side. Follow that line. Roll in that knife. Check both sides. We'll trim off some of this skin as well, so we're not eating that. And then we're just gonna season it heavy. Throw it over here on the Traeger. We got that duck bacon that's been cooking on there, as you can see. So we've already got all that grease and fat from that duck bacon. So we're gonna kind of make a little spot for this. The wet hand, dry hand on this. Season on all edges. We've got the Traeger set to about 325, so we're just gonna let that grill. We're gonna do about 5-6 minutes on each side, then we'll flip it. Maybe we'll even throw some duck bacon on top of it when we're done.
What's that there, the sturgeon?
Yeah, we just caught it. The one from this morning.
I just got my first Traeger like 6 months ago, dude. I'm not home a lot. I use it every day. It was that Pro 750 5.
Okay?
It doesn't suck.
Doesn't suck.
Let's just real quick. Keep it recording. No, here we go.
Yep, that's You're on his back because you're not getting any back.
Tastes so good.
Well, that's a wrap for 2024 Upper Columbia sturgeon season for us. I think I fished a total of about 3 hours and 15 minutes for 2 days of fishing. But like I said, that's just kind of the reality of it all. Fortunately, when we do catch and release trips, you know, guys, like you can go out and catch fish for like 8 hours and stuff. But when you're kind of in keeper mode, everybody wants to get one. And once you catch one, you're done. So reality is, it was a good day. And I really do think and really do hope that next year we the managers do something where they like adjust the slot limit maybe a little bit bigger, so we let some of the littler, smaller fish grow up. I mean, any fish over 38 right now is a big fish, but if the minimum was 42 or 44, might make it might slow the fishery down, give more people more opportunity to give it a shot. There's nothing really wrong with a productive fishery, but when the stars align like this year, it's over quick. So, anyways, hope you guys get an opportunity to catch a sturgeon, whether you get to keep it or not. And hopefully you guys get an opportunity to use some of what Jeremiah was saying as far as cooking and all that good stuff, because he does a fantastic job with wild game. And I'm pretty sure if you have a walleye or a halibut or rockfish or lingcod, you could probably apply whatever he does, whatever magic he does to that sturgeon to any of those other types of white fish. So all in all, a good day. I've got a dirty boat to clean up because I just filleted a bunch of sturgeon. And I'm going home getting a nap because it was way too early to start this morning. So later, guys.